as well. But let's get in Mr. Raamdeo Agrawal, Chairman and Co-founder, Motilal Oswal Financial Services, who's joining us. Hi, Raamdeo. Good morning and good to see you. Tell us about this, reflect about some instances, some discussions you would have had with the Tatas and lessons you would have learned in your career.
Yeah, so it's a sad day that we have lost somebody whom you look forward for doing the right things in right way. Doing the right thing in right way requires a lot of courage. And, at times it is financially not, in the short run, at least it's not very good. But yet you do it because that's the right thing to do. And he was a man, he was a perfect gentleman and perfect Indian. He always stood by government and whatever is good for the nation. And so I think, he was, and he was very humble person, and he was known for taking care of all the people who worked with him, below him, parallel to him. I think the real loss is to those guys who worked with him very closely. We didn't work with him. I didn't have direct interaction much, except for hearing him in the analyst meet or something like that. But you could watch him from outside, particularly the corporate actions we have seen. How he has gone. How he took in 90s the globalization of corporates. He showed the way for the industrial enterprises to go abroad and acquire assets and turn them around and things like that. So I think he was man ahead of time, and in his values, in any case, even from the group, he got a lot of legacy. JRD himself was a perfect gentleman and man of vision, and then he got that legacy. But modernity was missing when he got it. The group was slightly, it was buckets of companies, and he brought it all to, brought it under Tata Sons, and now today he's leaving a legacy where Tata Sons rules the entire empire unhindered. So I think that is his huge achievement.
Absolutely, take that point. That is his big business achievement, the kind of wealth that he's created for shareholders. A lot of them, are thanking the Tata Group for the wealth that they've created for them as well. But more importantly, the personal loss of a lot of people would be very heavy as well. With the kind of business achievements that the Tata Group has made, I'm sure a lot of the stocks that you've made a fair amount of wealth in as well. Raamdeo, just wanted to know, what were the 2 or 3 key things that you learned about your investments through the journey of the Tatas and through the way Tatas conducted their business, something that they added value to when you were analyzing businesses?
Yeah, the fairness and the transparency, good bookkeeping, be upfront, and don't bother about what the market thinks. Keep telling things, whatever is the right thing. Whatever is happening, what is the state of affair, just come clean and let the market. Don't bother too much about the market, but keep doing the right things. And I think integrity of the books, integrity of the communication, and those right practices of Tata Group has kept them in good shape. And that's why the reliability in whatever they used to say, or they say, is very high. And hence the faith in the group and group companies is also very high compared to the average market.
Raamdeo, you mentioned that at some of those analyst meet or AGMs you would have attended as well. Any instance you would like to narrate to us? I believe at one of the AGMs, someone told him, "Sir, why don't you drive the Nano? To boost the sales." He said, "I would like to. Unfortunately, I'm not able to fit in that." Any instance that you could narrate to us?
It was long back. It was, I think, 90s or maybe early 2000 and all, when telco was going through painful phase. I remember there was a slowdown in 2002 or 3, and the trucks were kept in the stadium also. They didn't have place to keep for stadium, because not that it was a problem of telco, it was a problem of the economy itself. But, in analyst meet and all, people pile on to the management, and he was patiently listening. And, the young analysts and all, they were so, noisy And yet he was very patiently, he was explaining everything. And he was, I mean, actually he was taking suggestion from the small guys, people like us who are young and thinking that we know more than the other side. So I think what I've seen is the humility. You are a chairman of Tata Group and maybe Telco itself, and yet you are so patient. You are not losing. I've seen an analyst meet when you make useless comment against the company, the top management they use. I mean, I've seen people losing temper, but he was one guy. He was taking all the nonsense from the people like us, and he was keeping the cool, and he will explain right till end. So that kind of humility I have seen with very few guys. And see, you could see in AGM, I don't know, I don't attend nowadays, but the small shareholders will come, garland them and sing songs for them, poetries for them. I mean, that used to happen at JRD time also, and I have seen for him also.
I believe in early 2000, when Ford snubbed Tata Motors, and then, Mr. Tata came back strongly, and in the next few years, they acquired JLR's business and turned it around totally. So that's, the businessman, Mr. Tata.
That's a businessman and, the human. He was talking about Nano. You gave us an instance of how he wouldn't fit into the Nano. The idea of the Nano actually came to him while he was driving down from the Bombay house to his home. It was raining and there was a family which was on the scooter, and he felt really bad about, a family of 4 being on a two-wheeler, the kind of safety issues that would be. So he thought, how is it that I can make a car that everyone can afford in India? So that was a thought behind that business decision that he made on Nano as well. Mr. Agrawal, I just finally, you did speak about humility. You did speak about a lot of analysis, that he would get into while explaining to people. Is there any one thing that you wish you would have spent some time with him? Maybe is there any regret that you never got to sit with him one-on-one? If there was, say, a question or if there was something that you would like to ask him, what would that be? We'll just put it out in the universe.
No, it's he did everything right. I thought I used to follow his interviews, whatever was coming in CNBC or social media and all. So I used to listen to him many times, and he was also a man of few words, and he had a lot of patience. I used to actually get frustrated at times with his level of patience. Like the permissions are not coming for the new hotel, but they'll keep waiting for decades for getting the permission in right way, So I think that, we must learn to have a lot of patience while building empire. And when you build empire slowly in the right way, it also lasts for a very long time. So whatever you build very quickly in wrong way, it will also dissipate at a very rapid pace. But if you build it step by step, and the power of compounding takes care of the size, I think that's the thing. The patience. With the compounding you need patience, and he was a man with unlimited patience, I would say.
I believe, talking about hotels, I believe in Andaman when he visited, there wasn't an Indian hotel over there. But I think over the next few years, in the right manner, he went ahead and he commissioned a hotel. And we have an iconic Tata Group hotel in Andaman as well. Shows his passion. And just one more point, Raamdeo, with regard to the Nano. I used to ride to Bangalore on, a motorbike, and we had only one car with us. And that car used to be a Nano in case anyone was tired. So that Nano used to do Bombay to Bangalore in one stretch, So I've seen it. I've been part of the biking group, and we had only one car that was accompanying us. But Raamdeo, we need to talk a little bit about the market. If you had to bet on one Tata Group company from here on, given the prospects, what would it be? For the next 10 years or so, the ones that have the building blocks in place, they have the tailwind of the industry as well, and they have the balance sheet.
You buy the Tata Investment Corporation, you get all in one.
The holding company is what you got.
The holding company you're getting, and whenever Tata Sons goes public, you should be the first in the queue.
All right, that's very interesting because we have seen some of an up move come by on that, but we don't know, whether that's happening or not. But Tata Investment, Raamdeo spoke about that. That's been buzzing since morning. It's up around 11-12% as we speak as well. But, just finally, before we let you go, on the market itself, since we have you with us, what are your thoughts after what took place last week, and then some bit of recovery from the lows is what we saw over the last couple of days? Where do you see, sentiment going from here on in the very near term?
Yeah, it's very intact in the sense that last quarter was a wonderful quarter. If you look at the quarter, I think we did about 8-10% kind of quarter on quarter index performance, which is fantastic. Last 12 months is about 25-27%, which is also very good. Your demat additions are like 43.5 lakhs last month. So the whole quarter is about 12 to 13 million. So what more you can ask for? So that's a wonderful thing. The flow is still on. I think the real concerning point is geopolitics, of course, what is happening. Second, the earnings slowdown. I think that's the real concerning thing, that the estimates which have been put out for the quarter two by our guys, they're saying it will be mid-single digit kind of thing, 6-7%, 8% kind of growth, which, I mean, if by chance that slows down going forward, I think the impact is that of slowdown in the government capex in the first half of the year because of elections and all. But I believe the government capex will pick up big time in the second half, which is already happening. So hopefully the RBI estimate of 7.2% comes, but that will be more back-ended, and hence earnings should also recover. But otherwise, the real concerning thing is the current earnings situation for the quarter, because if the earnings don't pick up, I think the sellers will have upper hand, and whether FIs or even promoters, they might end up selling a lot. So I think it could halt the market from going up, but I think we are in very good shape, and I think our return expectation on next 12 months should be a little more moderated, looking at the earnings profile, but I think everything is fine.
Okay, all right, Mr. Agrawal, we appreciate you joining in, reflecting on the life of Mr. Ratan Tata, and sharing with us various instances over the last many years. And thanks a lot for giving us your comment on the market as well. Well, on that note, though, we'll have to wrap up on this edition of Chart Busters. You stay with us, though. Trading Hour comes up next.